Welcome to 2024, everybody, and Happy New Year. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. It's Tuesday, January 2nd. I hope you had a great long weekend. And like I said, hope you had a great Happy New Year with friends and family. It was a hell of a year in 2023. The troubling times and brutal bear market continued, but I think we can expect greener days ahead, no pun intended, for 2024. I'm looking forward to it. Before we get to it, though, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or whenever I go live. In this video, we're going to be discussing High Tide as one of my top picks for 2024, and we're going to go over some news, and then toward the end, we'll take a quick peek at the chart and what to expect in terms of the technicals and price action in the days, weeks, months ahead. As always, though, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment and informational purposes only. You should never ever buy anything based on anything that I write or anything that I say. And full disclosure, I am a very large shareholder of High Tide. Just before we get to the content, this video is sponsored by Moomu. Founded by a NASDAQ-listed fintech, Moomu is an online broker based out of Silicon Valley with over 20 million users. There's some exciting news coming for Moomu platform as they gear up to launch RRSPs and TFSA accounts in January 2024. Moomu also offers an array of benefits such as $0 maintenance fees, ultra-low FX conversion rates, and transaction fees on average about $1.99 per trade. People still tell me to this day that they spend anywhere from $10 to $15 per trade. Well, that can go away with Moomu. Extended trading hours from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and you also get free access to level 2 market data, 40 plus drawing tools, and 100 plus educational resources, all for free directly on the app, which they have a mobile and desktop version as well. Last but not least, Moomu is all set to launch another round of welcome rewards exclusively for RRSP and TFSA accounts. I will leave links for Moomu in the description and in the comment section below. Definitely one of my top picks, and I think it's going to be one of the best performing stocks in the MJ space for years to come. But I think 2024 is going to be very fruitful for the stock, and imagine once they start to expand to the US. But like I said, very bullish on this stock long term. I'm actually thinking about adding it. I was going to add it today to my TFSA. If you recall, Canadians get an extra $7,000 this year. Used to be $6,500 last year, and now it's $7,000. So as Canadians, our tax-free savings account, if you're like me, I max that out, so I'm just foaming at the mouth at these prices looking to add. But today's stock was up around 8%, and the S&P 500 is going through weekly consolidation, seeing a healthy correction that we knew was likely coming soon. So I held off on adding today. Full disclosure, I did add SNDL today, though, to my TFSA, my long-term no-touch account, and I'll keep everybody posted on any future additions to my MJ portfolio. But let me know, with today being the first day of 2024, if you're a Canadian, did you buy anything in your TFSA today with that added contribution room? But jumping into some news here, just before we look at the chart, High Tide opened second Canna Cabana in Canada, Ontario, and then they also opened their first Canna Cabana in Mississauga, Ontario. And pretty much all of my purchases, all my shopping is done at Canna Cabana here in Edmonton, Alberta, and absolutely love the store. It's definitely, like I said, my preferred. Usually either Canna Cabana, High Tide, or Value Buds is where I spend most of my money and where I do most of my shopping. But like I said, High Tide is definitely my preferred retailer. And then they also had some milestones for 2023. So they went through some highlights here. I'll go through it real quickly. They realized a current annualized revenue run rate of over $500 million and remains the top revenue generating MJ company in Canada. And that comes after Fire and Flower also went through creditor protection. So this has been one of the few retailers that has shown, very, great numbers, very good promise and growth trajectory over the last, couple of years, really since inception. And just as the Canadian market continues to struggle, it definitely speaks volumes. Achieved positive free cash flow 5 months ahead of publicly communicated timeline, generated record adjusted EBITDA for over the 9 months ending July 31st, 2023, paid down a further $2.8 million on its convertible debenture using cash on hand, thus bringing its balance to just over $1 million currently versus $8.9 million at the start of 2023. Achieved industry-leading same-store sales growth of 31% during the first 3 quarters of fiscal 2023. Improved cash on hand at $25.7 million as of 31st of July 2023 versus $18.3 million as of July 31st, 2022. Reduced gross debt to $29 million currently versus $38.7 million at the end of calendar 2022, with meaningful growth in the business. Obtained coverage from 3 new equity research analysts, bringing the total number of brokerages of coverage up to 7. Added 13 new Canadian stores, both organically and through accretive acquisitions, closing the year at 162 stores across BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario. Delivered rapid growth in its unique loyalty program, which means the largest brick-and-mortar MJ loyalty program in Canada, with over 1.2 million elite and Canna Club members. Launched CCI to over 1.2 million elite and Canna Cabana Club members, ranked 38th out of 425 in the Globe and Mail's annual ranking of Canada's top growing companies, with 1,040% revenue growth over 3 years. This marks the third year in a row the company has earned a spot on this prestigious list. Crazy, 38th out of 425. Claimed the top spot in the Financial Times list of fastest growing retailers in the Americas for 2023, and grew its World Vision sponsorship support to 324 children internationally after committing to sponsoring additional children for every new store that opens in Canada. So that is some incredible and very impressive highlights, and love that they're giving back as well. So we'll go through some more very bullish news that came out. This article is dated today. High Tide welcomes doubling of Ontario retail MJ store cap. So as of today, High Tide announced that the high-impact retail forward enterprise built to deliver real-world value across every component of MJ. The company High Tide welcomes today the amendment of Ontario Regulation 468-18 under the MJ License Act 2018 that increases the number of stores that licensed retail MJ operators and their affiliates can operate from 75 to 150. And then Raj Grover, the CEO and founder, said, "We welcome Ontario's move today to make good on its previously stated intent to double the provincial store cap to 150. The increase comes as some operators who have a franchise model are already approaching or have exceeded 75 stores in the province. The move will have a positive impact on Ontario's MJ retail market as it brings the province closer to Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba, which don't have a store cap and have demonstrated success at illicit market capture. This change not only levels the retail playing field in Ontario, but also creates a significant growth opportunity for High Tide and others that will help Ontario's legal MJ industry better compete with the entrenched illicit market." And also, we know that they're going to be looking to, I did a video on this, they're looking to increase the amount of edibles from 10 milligrams to 100 milligrams, and that's only going to combat the illicit market even further, and as a result, help retailers like High Tide track those black market users. So that's also going to create new jobs for Ontarians and increase tax revenue for the province. As of July 2023, the 50 Canna Cabana stores we had open in Ontario had an average annual run rate that was 3.4 times our provincial peers. Accordingly, an additional 100 locations will help meaningfully boost our revenues and power our growth trajectory over the next couple of years, further solidifying our leadership position as the largest non-franchised MJ retailer in the country. With this change, our long-term growth target has now shifted upwards to 300 brick and mortar stores in Canada, added Mr. Grover. So, wow, the growth here is staggering. And then also wanted to mention that we should have earnings coming up in a couple of months. Last year it was toward the end of January, so it should be toward the end of this month or in February. Not sure what's going on here on investing.com. The dates are wrong, but they're forecasting 130.17 million Canadian for revenue and negative 0.04 for earnings per share or EPS. And what I really like about Moomu as well is they have the desktop app, the mobile app. I'm using the desktop here at the moment, and you can see if you go over to the analysis tab, click on financial, it actually has some projections here as well. So it says based on 3 analysts, I like it gives you the number of analysts, and they're forecasting 125.7 million Canadian. You can see here in unit CAD, and then EPS is forecasted at negative 0.032. And then you can also go over to the summary tab. You can see what ETFs hold High Tide as well, and that's the same for any MJ stock, right? So there's an example with Tilray. So like I said, check out the links in the comment section and the description below if you'd like to learn more about Moomu or take advantage of some of those rewards that were mentioned earlier. Jumping over to the chart here, so we'll take a look at the monthly time frame here in a moment, which is the most important, but I did want to highlight that we did confirm a weekly uptrend, and you can see here we had this long-term downward sloping resistance line that just continued to reject us. We had this falling wedge as well after we had a weekly bear flag. So we had our high, low, lower high. We had a target of about $1, and we actually came to 103. So that weekly bear flag target was met, and then we had a falling wedge. We broke out of that bullish. If you take your measured move from the high to the low there, it said we were targeting about 210, and we hit 230 on that bounce, right? And that came after the HHS recommendation to Schedule 3, right? And then we basically gave that whole move back. Look where we came down to, right to that weekly bear flag target, and also the downward sloping resistance line, which is now becoming new support. So it's looking really, really good here as we confirmed a weekly uptrend with the low, high, higher low, and higher high. So today we broke 230. Once we broke 230 today, that confirmed the weekly uptrend, and we have a lack of resistance even on the daily time frame all the way up to 230. So it's looking really, really good here at the moment. This could be a major sleeper and laggard here, and it's all about the monthly uptrend from here though. We're starting the monthly bounce for the second month in a row, which means we're just breaking the high of the previous monthly candle, but we have our low, high, higher low. Now we need the higher high. If we break 230 from here, then we'll be back in a monthly uptrend, and then it's off to the races after that, in my opinion. But we already had our weekly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. That's something I've been saying I've been looking for a while now. We already had our golden cross with the 50-day crossing the 200-day moving average. Now we just need that monthly uptrend to be confident that we're potentially ending this multi-year bear market and starting a potential multi-year bull market. And like I said, I think there's a very high probability that the bottom is in on high tide, and it's going to be, like I said, one of my top picks going forward in the MJ industry, and definitely a top pick for 2024. Going to be looking to add it to my TFSA as early as this week. But we did have a bull cross on the stochastic and the MACD, and we're coming up on the 100 weekly there. So if we can get a weekly candle close over that 100 weekly moving average at 190, I would say we're heading to 330 in a hurry. So it's all about 190 and then 230 resistance. Get over 230. Like I said, that would be a monthly uptrend confirmed, and I think we'd be targeting that 200 weekly moving average there at 330, which would be USD as well. This is in US dollars. So like I said, if we can get over, all about the monthly time frame, if we can get over 230, I think we'll be heading up to that 330 area in a very big hurry. And like I said, a lot of names looking like we are setting a long-term bottom. A lot of names are trending back toward their 200 weekly moving average. Another example that I like to use is Cureleaf. So if we bring up Cureleaf here, you can see here it got above its 100 weekly moving average on its way to its 200. So again, if we just see something similar for high tide, then we would see us somewhere around that $3.30 area. But like I said, we're looking really, really good here. We're going parabolic on the MACD and the stochastic, well above the 10-week moving average. Weekly uptrend confirmed. Now we just need the monthly uptrend confirm as well. But going to end it there, let me know what you think of this news. Is high tide on your radar? Let me know if you are a holder, if you're a buyer, if you're looking to add more. Are you comfortable and happy with the amount of shares that you have? Tons of sun coming in here off of the building next door. Yeah, very excited for 2024. Hopefully this video was helpful. Like I said, you can tell that there's so much bullish catalyst coming. The MJ Act's still up for review here in Canada, so we should see improvement to excise taxes. We should see improvements to, edibles from 10 milligrams to 100 milligrams, and then who knows what else. We just had the Ontario news today upping the store cap as well. So I think there's so much growth ahead, it's not even funny. And then imagine whenever high tide focuses on the US market and abroad. So going in it there, it's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. If you found this video helpful, I would appreciate it if you could like the video, share it with your network, and subscribe, all that good stuff. See you on the next video.